in the summer.
But the thing is, hang on, haven't we seen, Jordan? I'm just trying to get it up here. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't. That's not a sentence I should ever say on screen. I'm just trying to get the information up on my screen at the moment. When you look at our Januaries, they're really, really poor in general in terms of money going out. Now, in the last window, hang on, I think I can bring this up here. Let me share the screen with you. This is what I get it. When people are saying, like, I get what Iggy's saying there, that we need to, I don't know if you actually, you won't be able to see that. I'll stop that screen. When people are saying that we've got to wait and see, yeah, I get it. We have got to wait and see, but we know how this game pans out, right? If you look at our windows, last window, we got January windows, by the way, yeah. Pedro Porro and Danjuma, right? And one was on loan. Before that, we got Kulu on loan and Bentancur was cheap at 19. Before that, there was no one that came in the January before. The January before was Steven Bergwijn, right? The January before that was no one. January before that, one in Lucas Moura. No one the January before that. No one the January before that. Dele Alli for 6 million the January before that. No one the January before that. No one the January before that. Like, historically, we don't do a lot in January. And when we do, it's not a lot of money going out. So everything they're saying is true to form for Tottenham Hotspur, right?
Yeah, a lot of those Januaries, though, Savvy, you're forgetting that was Potter's squad. We couldn't improve that 11. I think. I don't know if you remember that.
Who'll sit on a bench? Who's going to sit on a bench?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's never. It's difficult, right? You say it's never been a window for us. I mean, has the summer one ever been a great one for us in recent history either? Yeah, I don't really. I don't know how January's going to go. I can't see the board forking out 70 million euros for Rafinha, especially. I don't think that would appease. I think if you look at January as a whole, I mean, I don't know what our budget is, but if it, you'd say 70 million would probably exceed the budget, if not be all of the budget, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I think if we bought in a Rafinha, we then in a couple of weeks' time be lambasting that decision, going, well, why didn't we get another centre half, and why didn't we get another, a number 10 replacement for James Maddison? So, yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I think to Iggy's point, I think you'd be happy with two strong either starting 11 players or people that can come in when we're in a situation like we are now. If we lose Romero or we lose a Mickey, that someone's got quality higher of Ben Davis or Eric Dyer and someone that's adequate that can create in the midfield. I mean, I don't know what you like. What would your priority be in January from a positional sense, or a backup, or a player replacement? Where do you think, if we have any money, it should go?
Mate, I don't know. And I suppose this is the conversation, right? Is that, I mean, when we're hearing about, I don't buy this, by the way. When we're talking about 70 million euros for Rafinha, straight away, the first question, what would be anyone's first question if we spent 70 million on a Rafinha, would be, why didn't we buy a centre half? Sure, yeah. Right, surely. But at the same time, we do need to add more goals, more this. I suppose the thing for me that I don't get is I think a lot of people think it will be different. And I don't actually think it will be. And to go to, I think it was Alan's point just now. Was it you, Alan, that said this? Is a lot of people, even after the Kane signing, still not understanding how Tottenham Hotspur Football Club operates, was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling. Like, I remember me and big up to Danny Kyriakou. Me and Kyriakou were having that debate for like a week before Kane was leaving. And I was like, of course he's leaving. And he was like, why? And I was like, sorry, you think Daniel Levy's going to spend 45 million on Van der Ven? You think he's spending 40 million on Maddison, 18 million on Vicario? You think he's doing that all out of the goodness of his heart? Nah, Kane, that's Harry Kane's transfer fee right there. And the number of people going, it was the same the year before, Iggy. I remember us streaming the same the year before. It was like, oh my God, we've got 150 million war chest, plus 150 million transfer kitty, plus whatever we make on player sales. And I'm sitting there going, have we all just started supporting Tottenham in the last 5 minutes? Like, this isn't how Tottenham Hotspur operate.
This is very small-minded It's very not by the fans. I'm saying
Mm.
for an owner who clearly just doesn't prioritize on-field success, because if
course.
he did, on-field success would actually bring in more revenue off the field. But if you've only got to go and transfer market and type in free agents and have a look at some of the players that currently have no club. I don't know. I want to say Jerome Boateng. At the moment, we have an emergency at the back. A player like him doesn't cost anything, but there's others there, by the way. I'm just using him as an example.
Sure.
But there's players there that you can snap up and probably join even now. Why not utilize that? Give him a 6-month contract in the way Luton have done for Andros Townsend. They're giving him a contract to the end of the season and say, look, we're in emergency situations, what they are. And we bring in a player for 6 months. We could do the same. Why can't we do that? We're in a situation there now, and then at the end of the season, then we can calmly decide who we want to spend the big money at. So there is alternatives options. Doesn't mean you have to literally go out there and blow everything on players. No one's suggesting that for a minute, but we need to better the players that we currently got and add squad depth. Otherwise, we're just going to come unstuck every single time. And we want to get into Europe this year. We've said, like, I've never entertained the fact about winning the league or anything like that. I've always said, look, the first objective in year one of Postecoglou's era is to get back into Europe. I didn't even specify Europa or Champions League. Of course, out of the two, I want Champions League. And if we are in this situation right now, where we are in the league in January, then you say, well, we're in full run, we're in full course of going for Champions League football. You've got to then say, right, where's the push that's going to see us out in the second half of the season? Where's the push that we make sure that we're not in the second half of the season, same thing happens, like what happened now, what's happening right now. We cannot afford this to happen in March, April, in the business end of the season, because then we really are screwed. Don't compromise that part of where we are right now, because you don't want to spend a bit of money.
But isn't it a vicious circle, Iggy? Like, it's a vicious circle in terms of, if we don't do enough, as you said, if we are in the mix for Champions League and we don't do enough to secure a Champions League, then the excuse can't then be in the summer, but we can't attract the players
because we couldn't get the Champions League money.
Right.
Of course,
At some point, you've got to go, you know what, we're going balls deep here. I think I heard you saying once about, getting out, getting it on the table and saying, hey, boom, this is us. We've got the manager. We've got a good team here. Let's add 2 or 3 players in this January window that make us go, all right, do you know what? Let's take it away from the owners now. Go on, Postecoglou. We've just given you those 3 players. This is now on you and the players.
Sava, it's the intent. If you're running a business and you're the head of that business, and you go out there with the intent, the message that you're sending out across the board to all your players or to all your employees, say, man, this guy means business. Yes, he's shrewd. Yes, he's careful with his money. But you know what? When he goes, he goes, and you've got to send a message out there, because we as fans, we go on that. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We never do. But the intent, we can see where the intent is. We can see what the ambition is and what the plan is. Unfortunately, my question will always be on the board. I will always, unless they answer my questions, I will always be in doubt, because they've not given me anything to think anything different. So, listen, I never have an issue with the players, including Diaz and all that. I don't have any of those players. I don't have a problem with the managers, because fundamentally, when it all comes down to it, it's always the damn same. Like you said, it's a vicious circle. It comes down to one thing and one man, really.
It is. Listen, just quickly.